Hello, this reading is for Pisces for May 2018. And these are, I've been doing a series about the new energetic cycle, and that is Uranus restationing from the first house where it's been for the past 7 years in Aries, and that's the house of self. Well, it has moved into the second house of Taurus, which is all about values. And there are plenty of videos to look that up and learn about that. But in a nutshell, it's a huge shift of energy. And the thing is, it's totally new energy. It's energy like we've never felt before. So it's going to be really relevant to where Uranus is in your personal astrology chart. You can look that up on like astro charts if you don't already know. But the house that Uranus falls in your own chart and the planets that surround it are certainly going to add a lot of insight to this. But either way, I have pre-shuffled, meditated on the cards, and let them fall. That can be a lengthy process, so I do it off camera because I like to keep these videos short. That really is my goal. Crowning this reading for Pisces for May 2018 is the Knight of Wands. Okay, this is a Knight of action. He brings in fire energy. He brings in creativity and a newfound sense of passion. All right, so that's coming right in. And for the central energy of the reading is the Page of Wands. So right after that, there is this fire energy. And for Pisces, who, dwells in the water and it has a hard time, when you're in the water, underneath the water, it can be hard to see above the water. And Pisces people really have that challenge. They're so into their emotions and it's so hard to detach and a lot of times to tune into that creativity, which Pisces is a highly creative sign. And, with the crowning energy of the Knight of Wands and the central energy of the Page of Wands, this is going to be a whole new era of tapping into that creativity, maybe finding something new to be passionate about. I'm getting from just a quick look at these cards, I'm feeling a sense of dissatisfaction. So working with this energy is the Three of Wands. This is a card of, obviously by this illustration, of waiting for your ships to come in, but it's more essentially a card of planning, a card of either being in a very active stage of planning, wishing, manifesting, or perhaps you've already laid the groundwork and you literally are in a state of waiting. But either way, a 3 is a catalyst card. It's a transition, generally from the planning and gestation, learning and studying phase of the 2 energy into the stability of the 4 energy. Now, for Pisces for May 2018, for this new energetic cycle, there are a few 4s, and 4s are about stability, but it's more about not necessarily an established existing stability, but an inner desire for more stability. Now, in the recent past, you guys got the 4 of Wands. Normally, this is a card of happiness. This is like a cause for celebration. A lot of times it can represent marriages and growth and just a general feeling, of security in one's life. It's a creatively stable and happy place to be. There's a lot of contentment in this card. However, with the card surrounding it, I'm getting the feeling that this is from the previous cycle. This is something that Uranus brings a lot of shakeups, a lot of changes, and does a lot of house cleaning. And, so there can be a lot of, particularly because it was just in the house of self, in the house of Aries, it can bring a lot of ends to relationships, divorces, losses that seem really bad, but that are ultimately for our highest good. That being said, I'm sensing kind of like for a lot of Pisces, just a sense of not having this so much as coming out of a place of this. Although, because this can certainly represent already being in an established place of happiness and security. So perhaps you have recently just bought a new home, or, were married in the past year or so. It can certainly mean that. The reason I'm getting this feeling of discontentment or things not working out is by the card in the focus position, which is the 10 of Cups, which is the wishes come true card. It's happiness, fulfillment, joy. It's in the reverse. So this is indicative of, not having it all. Indicative of lack and kind of like emotional unhappiness. Just, something's not quite right with this card. So I feel like many, many Pisces are dealing with this energy coming out of the old cycle. And that's the great thing about these new energies. We're bringing in a whole new era. It's literally a new phase of your life. It's kind of like graduating, from middle school, which is kind of what Aries or Uranus in Aries in the first house was like. It was a lot of self-assessment, self-actualization. As I said, a lot of shakeups, a lot of endings. So it's kind of like coming out of middle school and gosh, when you start middle school, what a difference from the time you begin to the time you leave and enter high school. So that's a lot like what that was. And that's a lot like what this shift is. It's a lot like graduating to high school, we'll just say. So in the strengths position, you have another 4, the 4 of Swords. So the energy of this is I'm feeling that despite this, whatever the personal situation, because I'm feeling like for Pisces, this is going to be a very, this cycle or phase in your life for the next 7 years as Uranus sits in Taurus is definitely about the physical realm. That's what the energies that are coming through. And this 4 of Swords is all about, it's continued self-assessment. So perhaps you're still going to have a little overlap from the last cycle. But it's a card of going within and relaxing. It's a card of trust. Again, it's a card of balance, but it's a spiritual balance. It's a mental balance. And it's a good place to be mentally because it's very serene and calm. For the near future, you have the 6 of Pentacles. So again, another card of balance. And I feel like that's what this 4 of Wands in the past. That's why I'm getting the sense that this isn't so much a victory, but more of something that just, something that didn't work out the way you wanted. And the 6 of Pentacles in the near future is going to bring that balance back. It's kind of like a return on an investment. It's a return on the work that you put in, this inner work in your strength position. And it's bringing in this fresh new energy, this fresh new feeling of inspiration, of exuberance and enthusiasm, a new creative beginning in the material realm. For the suggested advice, you have the Magician. The Magician is a card of new beginnings, whole new starts. But specifically, it's a card of manifestation. It's a card that reminds us that we create our own reality. And we have all these tools in which to create a reality, but which one? Are we just using one tool? Because we need to use many tools to build something. And that's what the Magician symbolizes, is having the ability and using your tools to make magic happen, to create the world you want and the life you want. So that is in your suggested advice. Stay positive and stay focused on your own inner power. Sometimes things just aren't where we want them to be at a certain time for our own growth. It's just all lessons are for our growth. And once we realize that and really, really internalize that, then we learn to welcome the different stages of our life. We learn to welcome the challenges. We're grateful for the lessons, even grateful for the disappointment, because we realize, we gain wisdom. Okay, so I put a stone here because I really wanted to clarify in the things you can do position, which is another advice position. Like how can you work with this energy? What can you do? You had two cards that came out very strongly, both in the reverse, and that is the Four of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So again, this is that energy of unsurety, of, obviously the Ten of Swords in this illustration, and that's why I do like the Rider-Waite deck, because they really pull from our minds a feeling, and you can get the feeling from these cards. This is a feeling of, it's not necessarily defeat, but it's more like just enough. I've had enough. And in the things you can do position, I think this is just all about, because it is such a contrast to the suggested advice. So this is definitely, this is saying, don't be like this. Turn this around. Use these swords, these disappointments, these lessons, internalize them, and you become stronger. This is the end of a cycle, but you have to choose to let it go. You have to choose to embrace this magician mentality, this energy of the magician, and you have to look up. See in this card, that gift is being offered, that brand new beginning, that hope, and you have to look up and acknowledge it and seek it, which I do think that Pisces are doing because in your strengths position, you do have this card of inner reflection and repose. All right, so in the hopes and fears position, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is a knight that is bringing something new into your material world. So again, it's perfect with this Knight of Wands because that's what the feeling of what it's bringing. This Knight is bringing a new found passion or sense of enthusiasm, creativity into your physical world, your 3D world. For the outcome, Pisces got strength. Now, strength card is an 8. That's a card of mastery. That's a card of balance. It's a card of really knowing oneself. It's also a card of balance, but it's a mastered balance, of course, because I'm really trying to convey what this energy is that I'm feeling, because I know what the strength card normally means to me. But in this reading, this is really about mastery. It really is. It's about mastering those emotions, mastering and subduing that water energy, that mental and emotional, those mental emotional waves that, Pisces feel so strongly, and allowing for hope, inspiration, passion, creativity, but in knowing. This card says that you're good enough. You can do this. You have the magician. This is you. This is a very encouraging reading for Pisces. There's a, put that back there. This is an exciting new energy. I really can feel it. I can't necessarily express it, but I can really feel it. So I'm just going to clarify real quickly that Four of Wands in the recent past. Okay. And we have the Seven of Cups. So yeah, this is a card of hopes and dreams. And that's what I'm feeling like. You had hopes and dreams that just didn't turn out the way you wanted. And that's okay. When you learn to look at it, as for your own self-growth, and you learn to gain wisdom from those lessons, then it's always good. And again, we have the Six of Cups, just to further clarify that in the reverse. So yeah, it's a card of, this is a card of fulfillment, happiness. It takes us back to our youthful, the times of youth, generally happy feeling where things are okay, we're taken care of, and, we know our place in the world. But in the reverse, it's the exact opposite. It's card of self-doubt, unrealized dreams, broken dreams, separation, something, when we're young, we have all these dreams and all this optimism. We have this hope that everything's going to work out all right. And sometimes it doesn't. And then we learn and grow. Right? We learn and grow. Life is just learning and growing. That's why it's called the school of life. All right. I'm just going to clarify. I don't do a lot of clarification normally in my readings. I want to keep these short. And I save those for the extended readings. But I am going to clarify in this things you can do position, this 10 of Swords reversed with the Four of Cups reversed. And two cards came out and they're both reversed. The Two of Wands and the Empress. So yeah, the Empress is all about creative. She's a creative force. She is love. She is, in the upright, she's everything a person wants to be. She's fulfilled. She's fertile. She makes things happen. She's loving. She's ruled by Venus. She's all things beauty, harmonious, balance. Everyone wants to be this. And this is a lack of self-confidence. And with the Two of Wands in reverse, because the Two is about, manifesting. He has that world in his hands. He's looking on the horizon. He's considering the possibilities. In the reverse, it's again, you have four cards in this position, all in the reverse and all indicating this energy of, it's not sadness that I'm feeling. It's more like an impatient sense of, dreams not coming true. So I'm really feeling for a lot of Pisces, maybe the past cycle has not been so awesome. There's probably been a lot of self-work, a lot of clearing of, our emotional attic. But again, in the advice position is this Magician. Make new things happen. You can do this. You are this magician. You have this new creative, passionate energy coming in. And you do have the ability to do this. You have this fire. This is a fire energy. You have fire energy strongly coming in for your new cycle. So I am going to do an extended reading, but just that's what I would go with and think about, Pisces. Is balance that watery nature, balance those emotions, understand that past hurts can make us stronger. Past disappointments can lead to, they do lead to future happiness, better happiness, more fulfillment. And, so I'm not even going to say balance. I'm going to say let that water energy go. Let that sense of disappointment and worry go and welcome in this new energy. This is passionate, new fire energy. This is vitality. This is action. And, just really think about that. When you're meditating, when you're going within, think about those positive affirmations think about what you want to create as the magician into your life. And that's how you make it a reality. There's the blessing right here. This is a depiction of a blessing. And this is a card of blessing. It's a blessing that comes by going within and following your personal truth. All right? Okay, I'll see you in about a week, Pisces. And I love you guys. I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing for this next cycle. All right, bye.